Hey y'all, so I have my 5 buildings, okay? Can you see them all? Oh, this one's not that dark. There's my 5th one, I'll make it darker, okay? I have my drawing out. We're just gonna add some buildings today. I'm not gonna really do windows, although I'm gonna explain it. So if you're comfortable trying, you're more than welcome to try. My straight edge today is my watercolor palette. Again, just showing you that use whatever you have, it doesn't have to be a ruler. And then I have my pencil, okay? So we're just gonna add a few more buildings kind of behind the buildings you already have. So it looks like you're looking up into this massive group of skyscrapers like you would if you were in downtown Houston or another major city. So let's get started. Okay, y'all, so last week, on Friday, we did our 5 buildings. So every student, that's one of the requirements, 5 buildings, okay? We're going to add in another requirement, and that's 1 building behind other buildings. So I started one, I'm gonna explain how to do it. I would encourage you to do more than 1 building behind your other buildings because you wanna fill the space. Like I go to downtown Houston, or I go to New York City, or I go to LA, or I go to Cleveland, or I go to Atlanta. If you stand in the middle, not in the middle of the street, but like in the middle of a sidewalk, you look up, there's buildings in every corner, right? And you're trying to create that same feeling. And so we're going to work with that. Okay. So it should not be open like this. You should have buildings filling your space. Okay. You'll have time to do that. We're going to start today with some buildings behind buildings. Okay. So this right here, I just chose a random building and I'm just creating another line in the center that goes to my vanishing point. Okay. So I have this building here and I just drew a line that was going to my vanishing point. Okay, this will kind of be the corner of my building. You can start to see where I quickly sketched it out, but please don't quickly sketch. Make sure you're actually using a ruler or a straight edge, okay? From there, I'm gonna create my parallel lines. I might make my building a little shorter, but at this direction here, okay? And I'll hold it up so you can see it. You can start to see this right here, okay? I'm gonna erase this line and all of my sketches because I don't need the sketch lines. Those are just there to help me process, okay? I mean, that's normal, right? Here's our building, simple, easy, small, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a minute so you guys can get one of those buildings and then we'll do a couple more together. Okay, y'all, so let me turn this around. I have created 3 lines, all going to my vanishing point, partially behind this building, okay? This is going to take practice and patience. I'm doing the lines darker because I'm demonstrating and I want you to be able to see them, okay? But you should be doing them lighter and then making them darker once you have figured out how that building should appear and where the lines should go and where the parallel lines should appear or should be drawn, okay? So I'm going to, I will go up. So this one is going to go across. Oh, and my straight edge did not work very well as a straight edge. Let me go ahead and erase that. This is the problem that you might have, but you know what? We moved past it. I'm going to do it again. Make sure I use the right side. Here we go. Now that line's straighter. Okay. My line at first was kind of crooked because it got caught in some of the curves and things on the watercolor palette, okay? And then it's going to feel strange at first, right? Because you're like, this looks very odd. When you're looking up at a building, okay? So you can see this building behind here, right? Don't be afraid to do the lines because if you're using, this line is parallel to this side of my notebook. This line right here is parallel to the bottom side of my notebook, okay? As long as you're following those rules of perspective, your buildings will look more realistic, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and erase my extra lines, okay? I now have 7 buildings total, okay? So the goal here is to make sure that you have filled the space with different buildings or different blocks is what they are right now, okay? I'm gonna pause for a minute to let you guys catch up and then I'll give you further instructions. Okay, y'all. So You can start to see my space filling in. So I started to add another building here. And because this one's flat, your viewpoint, it's also going to look flat just because you won't see the sides, right? So I'm gonna erase these lines here, process how I wanna fill in the space and all of my empty spaces. You should fill in as much as you can. If you have a small little like gap between buildings, that's okay. But you really wanna fill the space as if you're looking up in a space like downtown Houston at all the skyscrapers, okay? So we're gonna take about 5 minutes to add more. And you'll send me your image in the chat, and then you will process how you want to continue and add and fill in your space. So let's get started.